national semifinal. All right. The dogs could certainly give the committee a headache. Speaking of Georgia, let's take a look at our Dr. Pepper Championship Drive Game of the Week preview. Number 5, Georgia looks to keep its playoff hopes intact when number 24, Auburn, visits on Saturday. The Dogs have won 10 of their last 13 against the Tigers, including a 21-point win in last season's SEC Championship game. Jonathan, Georgia got over that Kentucky hurdle. Could Auburn provide a challenge of some sort, or does this not even register as a speed bump this weekend?
Not a speed bump this weekend. I'm looking at more Georgia playing up to their standards and playing down to Auburn standards. Really, I'm looking at Jake Fromm. I want to see how he continues to develop as a quarterback. He's played outstanding the last 2 weeks.
I'm with JV. No speed bump. It's smooth sailing. Georgia's going to cruise. Auburn is getting back on track, but they won't be enough.
Yeah, don't worry about Georgia even looking ahead to an SEC championship game. They've already got a loss. They know for the playoff, they've got to hold on to this one. Jonathan Ledbetter said we are focused on getting this W this week. We got a lot more to get to here on College Football Live. Don't worry, Emmanuel. No more hypotheticals here for us coming up next. What about the teams on the outside looking in? LSU at 7, Washington State at 8. Do either of these guys have a shot at cracking the top 4? As they try to make one final run to be that one final team. Let's take a look at the one final team vote brought to you by Dr. Pepper. The fans voted, and they voted on Michigan. 49% of the vote, more than 46,000 votes there on Twitter. Georgia comes up in 5th, 23%.
One Final Team is brought to you by Ice Cold Dr. Pepper, the official, and in part by Zales. 'Tis the season to make an unmistakable statement. Find your style at Zales.
No punting here on College Football Live. We're in 4-down territory. First down, Emmanuel. Look, LSU sitting there at number 7 in the latest rankings, according to the committee. Do we still classify the Tigers as a CFP contender?
Can't do it. Dunzo. I was on the LSU bandwagon. I was leading the bandwagon, but they beat Miami early in the season. We found out Miami's not that good. Beat Auburn, found out Auburn's not that good. They lost to Florida, and they got dismantled by Bama. LSU has got to go.
Yeah, I agree, Acho. LSU, a 2-loss team. I'll say it again. No 2-loss team will be in the playoff this year. It's not happening for LSU.
We haven't seen a 2-loss conference champ get in. This would be a 2-loss non-conference champ, assuming Bama doesn't go up in flames here. So, yeah, I'm with you. All right, whistle means we go to second down. How about one step below them at number 8? Jonathan, Washington State. Aside from winning out, what needs to happen for the Cougars to make the playoff?
You know, it's not a lot, to be honest with you. You have Big 12 canceling each other out. So let's say West Virginia beats Oklahoma, they play each other again, and Oklahoma beats West Virginia, cancels out the Big 12. Then you look at the Big 10. If Michigan beats Ohio State, then loses in the Big 10 title game, that cancels them out. So then you're looking at a Washington State versus a one-loss either Georgia, unless they lose, or they can be in, because you'd have a Notre Dame, Clemson, Alabama, and then Wazoo right there, one-loss Pac-12 champ.
The only thing I'll add to that, aside from winning out, they have to beat the heck out of teams. Got to dismantle Colorado, got to whoop Arizona, got to beat Washington, hopefully by a combined 50 or 60 points. They need big wins, not just wins.
Yeah, got to pass the eye test if the resume and strength of schedule isn't going to be there. Okay, the top 6 teams this weekend are all at least 14-point favorites, 2 touchdown favorites here in Week 11. So what's the biggest chance of an upset, either there or outside the top 6, Emmanuel?
If I'm being honest, top 6, I don't see any upsets. Outside of it, you got to watch out for Ohio State and Michigan State. Ohio State hasn't looked good coming out hot in the last month and a half. They're my team to watch as far as an upset.
4 INTs and just 1 passing touchdown. By the way, Emmanuel, if Ohio State loses to Michigan State, that's bad for the Big Ten, because then if Ohio State beats Michigan, Big Ten could be out.
I'm done with hypotheticals, Chick. I'm done with hypotheticals.
Right, yeah, we're done. Clemson's out. Yeah, right. All right. Fourth down. Here we go. We've seen some ups and downs for some first-year head coaches here. JV, start with you. Who's been the most disappointing of the first-year head coaches?
Well, it would be Scott Frost. I understand Mike Riley didn't leave him with a lot of talent, but there isn't a talent issue when you play Troy, you play Northwestern, teams you should have beaten. It's been very disappointing for Scott Frost.
The one that takes the crown for me is Willie Taggart, because not only are you losing games, not only are you at Florida State, but then when I hear you blame players, when I hear you start to play the blame game, I don't like it. At least lose in peace.
All right, I'll take that one. How about Kevin Sumlin, by the way? Not on the hot seat earlier, but he's come on last couple of games, and they're still in the running for the Pac-12 South, kind of winning the ugly pageant there. I'm not sure what that means, but much more to get to here on College Football Live.